What's going on, you guys? This is Luke with Dark Fiction Factory. Today we are diving back into the wonderful world of Charles Bukowski. I want to take a look at a really interesting poem about Bukowski that has to deal with creativity and how that's best fostered and the best environment for creativity. So let's dive in and take a look at this poem, and then at the end we'll do a little analysis on it, really dig into what is Bukowski really saying here, and we'll talk about it. Air and Light and Time and Space by Charles Bukowski. You know, I've either had a family, a job, something has always been in the way. But now I've sold my house, I've found this place, a large studio. You should see the space and the light. For the first time in my life, I'm going to have a place and the time to create. No, baby. If you're going to create, you're going to create whether you work 16 hours a day in a coal mine, or you're going to create in a small room with 3 children while you're on welfare. You're going to create with part of your mind and your body blown away. You're going to create blind, crippled, demented. You're going to create with a cat crawling up your back while the whole city trembles in earthquakes, bombardment, flood, and fire. Baby, air and light and time and space have nothing to do with it, and don't create anything except maybe a longer life to find new excuses for. So that was Air and Light and Time and Space by Charles Bukowski, which can be found in the collection The Last Night of the Earth Poems, which I highly recommend. So let's take a deeper dive into this. What is Bukowski really saying here? I think what he's trying to say is that creativity does not exist in time and space. It's not a place that you could go to. It's all in here. He's saying if you're one of those people, and we all know people like this, that say, well, one day I'll be able to create that poem, or one day I'll be able to write that book, or one day I'll be able to paint that painting. I just need the right conditions to do that. If that's the type of person you are, you're doing it wrong. Conditions in your life will very rarely, if ever, be perfect for a creative spirit. You have to be able to learn to train yourself to be able to be creative under any circumstance, as reflected by some of the grim settings that he puts forth in this poem. So like he says, you can create in a small room with 3 children while on welfare, or working 16 days in a coal mine. So of course he's being a little dramatic there with some really dramatic imagery, but it could include, rundown hotels, ratty apartments, your rundown car. You can be creative anywhere. And I feel like Bukowski is a real authority on this, because if you study his life, he really did grow up and live till a very old age in these sort of, kind of crappy conditions. He never had, an art studio or anything like that to go to. He never had like a professional writing suite. He just kind of did everything, like I said, at a ratty hotels, motels, his apartments, and things like that. I know personally, when I write at home, I write like almost every day. I don't have the time, I don't have the ability to come home and just tell my family, my wife, my kids, hey, I'm gonna go upstairs and just write for hours on end. However, if I can be on my laptop, in the living room, on my little table, everybody's doing other things. My wife's watching TV, she's doing things, she's working, doing school, playing on her phone, my kids are running around, playing video games, the cats are climbing around me. But I'm still able to be focused and zoned in. And I wasn't always like that. I would need to lock myself away. So that took a little bit of training, but it's definitely possible. I think it's possible for almost anybody. Now, that's not to say that you can't find at least the best spot you have to be your own little nice creative area. Like I said, in my house, in the living room, when everybody's around, I have my own little fold-up table that I sit on. But it could be anything. It could be a ratty shoe closet that you turn into your own little office. Or it could just be sitting at the kitchen table. It does not have to be a fine art studio or anything like that. And maybe that's the beauty of it. Maybe there's a beauty to be found in writing out of a ratty shoe closet, or writing in the living room with kids all around running amok, or under sort of harsher conditions. Maybe creativity really blossoms better under a struggle, under, not perfect conditions. Because after all, perfect is kind of boring. Many of the great writers grew up in struggle, poverty, strife, and I think that very much works in favor of a writer as opposed to against a writer. So I think what Bukowski is really saying at the end of the day is shut up about your perfect space, shut up about your perfect time to write, stop waiting for the perfect opportunity to be creative to come along, and just get there, just go out, be creative, make the best of your situation, and don't let anything stop you. Anyway, that's going to do it for this short video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to drop them below. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back soon with more content here on Dark Fiction Factory. Until next time, peace. For more content, check out darkfictionfactory.com.